I played a little bit of it. It's not my style of game, but I was floored by the visual presentation and the gameplay. I was like, wow. For people who love rhythm-based combat and stuff, this is awesome. This is excellent.
Yeah. So it's a Souls-like.
It's Souls-like, yeah, exactly. Even more news, and
there is.
And Alex, you've given me something, so I'm going to open it up right now. But I've heard a little bit about this, but I haven't really looked into it very much, which is that Bethesda had a roadmap of content that leaked.
Yes. So it's part of a larger leak. I think, I believe it's partially due to the acquisition that Microsoft is trying to do of Activision.
Sure.
So it comes, I think, in part from that. But the part I was mostly concerned about and wondering what your thoughts were going to be on was the Bethesda roadmap leak.
Sure. And
like,
so
maybe not just Bethesda, but the Microsoft Bethesda ZeniMax roadmap.
Yeah, and this is also a Kotaku article, but you've given me one.
It is, because apparently they've got the articles today.
They all have the articles.
Description, I guess.
Link in the description. There's probably... I'm sure that this has also been covered by other outlets like IGN or Polygon. But at any rate, Kotaku's the one that we're looking at right now. Bethesda roadmap leaks, including Oblivion Remaster and Dishonored 3. Great. Terrific.
Yep.
Bethesda is or was reportedly working on remasters for Fallout 3 and The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, according to a document released as part of a massive Microsoft leak. Bevy of partially redacted confidential emails and documents were part of the FTC case against the Monolithic Game Company, were posted online in the wee hours of the morning on September 19, and their contents contained info on new Xbox Series X console, Xbox head Phil Spencer's dreams to buy Nintendo, and a version of Bethesda's release roadmap. Well, first of all, Phil, I don't think that's happening.
I think that part was from years ago, but yeah, as I said, the point I was hoping to actually hit on with this with you is mostly the roadmap of content. So one thing on this, and one thing that I heard when I'm listening to something about this as well, is that the roadmap is currently about 2 years behind due to pandemic.
Yes.
So some of the dates are going to be off.
Yes.
By a year or two.
I can see this because it apparently lists Starfield as releasing in 2021.
When it just came out. So.
Yeah, and when it only just dropped in September. In a PDF reviewed by Kotaku, the title release schedule also lists Project Hibiki, which eventually became Hi-Fi Rush, as a 2021 release, and it released in January. So, yeah, I didn't know it was called Project Hibiki to begin with, so that's interesting.
Everything's got a code name.
Everything does. Yeah, Project Ego, remember? From back in the day. Oh, it's Fable.
Oh,
Fable was called Project Ego. ZeniMax's 2021 slate was also meant to include Redfall.
Yeah, good thing they didn't put it out in 2021.
Oh my god, it would look like a potato.
They had all the time to polish it up.
Fallout 76 expansion Fallout Worlds, which went live in 2021, and Ghostwire Tokyo, which debuted in spring of 22. So it appears this entire release schedule was shifted by a year or two in either direction. But leaked documents suggested that 2022 would include the upcoming Indiana Jones game, which would make sense for the new movie that came out, that they'd want to...
Oh, I guess.
But, okay, just real talk for a second. How much do you think people actually care about Indiana Jones anymore?
I didn't know they were making a game for it, and the last time I saw an Indiana Jones movie, it was The Crystal Skull.
Oh, sorry.
It was fine.
It was Ancient Aliens, folks. I have various things about Dial of Destiny. I'll watch it at some point, but yeah.
It's been years.
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch that, but it's been years. I don't think it was as bad as people make it out to be. I think people at the time just hated Shia LaBeouf. Actual murderer Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. It also includes Starfield DLC and an as-yet unannounced remaster of The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Well, I mean, I can understand why they might want to do Oblivion as a remaster.
Yeah. So I was curious about that. Apparently that is slated allegedly for 2024.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that remaster is technically like 2 years behind as well. If it's slated for 2024 and will be 2026.
I mean,
there's 2025.
They're saying that since that was going to be 2022, by using the aforementioned logic, we could potentially see those 3 things in 24. Right. Obviously, we weren't going to see Starfield DLC in 22. The game hadn't come out.
Right.
According to the chart, 23 was meant to include a new Doom game called Doom Year Zero, an Elder Scrolls Online expansion, and 2 unnamed projects codenamed Kestrel and Platinum. Ooh, what would Kestrel and Platinum be?
Apparently one of them is allegedly going to be an MMO.
Okay. Yeah.
What are you thinking they would be?
What are they going to be? God, I'm kind of scared to think about it. Would they make a new Prey? Ooh. Kestrel?
Who knows?
Kestrel might be Prey too. Oh, anyway,
nope.
No, that's all conjecture. Roadmap continues into 24, which has the most titles listed out of all of them. It includes the Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, that's going to be a few years.
To be fair, at this point, I'm pretty sure it's just going to look like Starfield, but in Skyrim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Since, from what I've seen of Starfield, it just looks like Fallout 4 set in space.
Yeah. The thing that is interesting, because I know a lot of people were a little deflated by it, but honestly, from the moment, and I'm still playing it, but from the moment that I started, it really gave me Fallout 3 vibes more than anything else. Like, just
really,
yeah. From the tone and like those open kind of like wasteland landscapes, even the sound design and everything, and the dialogue trees and stuff. It reminded me of like when I first played Fallout 3, for better or worse. It's that experience, which we know isn't coming until 26, and not at all for PlayStation. Yeah, screw you, PlayStation. An expansion for Project Kestrel. I still wonder if that's Prey. Anyway, DLC for Doom Year Zero, a licensed IP game. Great.
No idea.
Not licensed IP game. All right. Well, if they have access to something like Indiana Jones, then I'm wondering if it's something from LucasArts.
It could be. It could be Star Wars.
It could be. It could be Star Wars. Not that we have enough Star Wars games, but you know.
Yeah. Never.
A Ghostwire Tokyo sequel. Well, I don't know if that's happening because that didn't do so great. But Dishonored 3, yeah, I can see that absolutely, and a remake of Fallout 3. Well, good news. Just use the Starfield engine and just put Fallout 3 in it. You'll be good. You'll be all set. A Dishonored sequel is great news for fans of Arcane. As is news that Ghostwire Tokyo appears to be getting... Is it great news? I tried Ghostwire Tokyo. I was like, alright, this is fine, I guess, but
this is fine.
I don't know. Tango is an interesting studio. Like, I did not play Evil Within, but I heard it was pretty good. Ghostwire Tokyo was fine, like, as far as open world goes, but then they did Hi-Fi Rush, which is completely outside their wheelhouse.
Apparently that was really great, so... I
played a little bit of it. It's not my style of game, but I was floored by the visual presentation and the gameplay. I was like, wow. For people who love rhythm-based combat and stuff, this is awesome. This is excellent.
Yeah. So it's a Souls-like.
It's Souls-like, yeah, exactly.
That's all rhythm based. Anyways, we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, but you didn't have like the Black Crows playing in the background when you were doing Dark Souls. Sorry.
Some of the documents went into like system specs for the new Xboxes and stuff like that for the console plans too. So like I don't care nearly as much about that, but
that would be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So the leak went into way more than just what we're talking about. But like, I don't care. I want to hear what your thoughts were on some of these game projections.
Sure.
You know?
Okay, so I guess what we could do now is like likelihood of happening.
I think the biggest ones are probably the remasters of Fallout 3 and Oblivion, honestly.
Yep.
I was telling my friend the other day at work, I mentioned this and said they're potentially going to be remastering Oblivion, and their response was, oh shit, then I could actually play Oblivion, because I tried it before and I absolutely could not play it. When you go back from a Skyrim to playing an Oblivion, it's night and day how the games run and the control is, so...
And there's differences between Oblivion and Skyrim that I didn't like in Oblivion, like how they do the leveling of enemies and how it scales to you, instead of Skyrim's way of just saying that everything is just as dangerous as you think it is, and then you have to get more powerful. I like the world building of that. I'll tell you though, if I were to put something on my list, and who knows, maybe it's one of those projects that they mentioned, although I really doubt that it's Platinum or Kestrel. Especially because Kestrel's supposed to be getting some additional DLC. Maybe Platinum. But I want Morrowind as a remaster. Or like a complete remake. I want a complete revamp of Morrowind.
I feel like that'd be a much bigger project, too.
It would be. It absolutely would be, but you know that it would go over great. Like, you know, people love Morrowind, and if it only had, like, waypoints, and, like, mission trackers, and, like, all of that.
All the good things that new games have.
And, like, voice acting and all of that stuff, that would be cool. That'd be great. People would love that. Better dialogue tracking and all of that. But here's the thing. I like the idea of having a new Oblivion. I like the idea of getting Fallout 3 remastered. I get why they'd want to do that because it's been a little while. But if they really wanted to do something cool with it, I wouldn't do them in the creation engine. I wouldn't keep doing them in the creation engine. I think Starfield... Are you
telling me...
suffered from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you telling me that Starfield using Creation Engine and just feeling like Skyrim or Fallout in Space didn't do it justice?
I think that the fact that Starfield was built on the Creation Engine is showing the age of the engine and the limitations of it. If they ended up doing a revamp and they said, maybe, this is a good thought, like if they used the remaster or just a straight-up remake of like Oblivion or Fallout 3 to launch a new game engine, to show like the possibility of a new game engine, like even if it's Creation 2.0 or whatever, that would be a big thing for them, because they could show like what the capabilities of a new system would actually be, a new game engine. Elder Scrolls Online expansion, duh. Of course they're gonna do that, they do that all the time. New Doom game, I think that that's kind of a given anyway. I'm not surprised by that. The Doom Eternal was a big deal for them, the original Doom. What is less likely for me? Like I said, I don't know if Ghostwire Tokyo is really getting a sequel. That's meh. And a licensed IP game, the fact that they're not necessarily even in the documentation telling you what it is makes me think that that's tentative at best.
It's either tentative or it's a yet unannounced IP. Or like something that, like, maybe it's an upcoming movie or something, but they can't talk about it because it's not, it could be something like that.
The only reason I would dispute that is because that would suggest that there's going to be a movie or a television show that is an original licensed IP.
Oh, that's fair.
That I don't know how much that's going to happen, but
obviously it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's going to be Ahsoka, but that's just Star Wars anyway, so yeah. Hey, you know what? That's a game people want anyway. Dishonored sequel. Yeah, no, I'm happy to hear about that, because I think Arcane, after, like, Deathloop and Redfall, needs to go back to the stuff that they did well.
Yeah.
I know people were kind of, like, iffy on Deathloop, but I was not a big fan, and Redfall was Redfall, so... yeah, maybe go back to the Dishonored or Prey would be terrific, please. Thank you. Ghostwire Tokyo. Look, Tango, just do more Hi-Fi Rush. People love the Hi-Fi Rush. Just do that. Or you can make a third Evil Within, which maybe that's Kestrel or Platinum. Might be one of the project code names. Although I do feel like when they do project code names, it's probably because of like an older IP or something that they have in the backlog that they might be looking to bring back. Upcoming Indiana Jones game.
There you go. Perfect.
No one wants that. And are you literally still doing an expansion for Fallout 76? Give it up. Just give it up. Give me Fallout anything else.
Fallout everything.
Fallout 101. You know what? That's what they can call the Fallout 3 remake. Because it was Vault 101. Call it...
There you go.
Fallout 101.
They won't know what's going on. Anyway,
that was the Bethesda leak. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm very happy that I am either happy or sad now. I don't really know.
A little bit of everything. You're a mixed bag.
I am definitely a mixed bag. And so this mixed bag is going to be looking forward to seeing the legitimacy of how much of this is actually going to come out. If you have anything on that list that you think is particularly intriguing for you, let us know in the comments down below, or join us over on our Discord channel.